Right, I'm here at Sunderland Magistrates Court on this soaking wet 3rd of April 2012, and the time is 16 minutes past 1, and I'm about to go into Sunderland Magistrates Court. Hiya. Yeah, I need to know something. I was in touch with the Crown Courts yesterday, and when an appeal takes place at the Crown Court that's been passed or sentenced in a magistrate's court, if the appeal is overturned, the Crown Court informed me to send that information back to the magistrate's court that imposed the original conviction, and that someone at the magistrate court then amends the system here at the magistrate. Can you tell us which person actually does those amendments?
It'll be the resultant section. What's your name?
My name's John Eggleston.
So you've been to the Crown Court for an appeal? 6
years ago.
Right.
And I was convicted at Sunderland Magistrates Court, amongst loads of corruption by waine court staff, CPS staff and the police. Right. And it was a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. I was convicted of assaulting a police officer.
Were you in the other day or not?
What?
Did you come in the other day or not?
I was in yesterday. And I spoke to the woman, and she went on the system and said, by this system I appealed the sentence, which was overturned, but not the conviction. Right? So I go on the phone to the Crown Court and I say, and they checked their system, and they said, no, as you know, the appeal was against your conviction and your sentence, and both were overturned. And they explained to me that they passed that information to the magistrates. Now I had a hearing not long after that, for re-sentencing. But because of the appeal, it was put till after the appeal. So after the appeal, I came back to be re-sentenced. But because...
For the same matter though?
Yes. But because they didn't know I'd won the appeal, it had already been set before the appeal was heard to be re-sentenced. So what it was, they deferred the re-sentence till after the appeal, because if I win the appeal, there's no re-sentence. So I had to come back to the court about a week or 2 weeks after the appeal, and Robert Martin went to check if I'd been successful in my appeal or not. And Robert Martin came back and said to me, right, I've checked with the Crown Court. I was waiting to go into the hearing to be re-sentenced because I still had to turn up. Yes, because I still had to turn up. I was on bail. So even though I'd been cleared, I still had to turn up. Yes, so I still had to turn up even though I'd been cleared. And so I got here, and Robert Martin went and checked with the Crown Court and came back and said, yes, your appeal's been successful, you can go. I didn't even get into the court. So Robert Martin knew that appeal was successful. Waine knew that appeal was successful. But the information that came back from the Crown Court, apparently by someone at Sunderland Magistrates Court, they sent the information saying the appeal was successful in all events, and somehow the person who's looked at that and manipulated the system has manipulated it to leave the conviction on. Remember, this involved a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice involving waine and other court staff, as well as CPS staff and police.
So what is it you want to know?
I want to know who made those changes to that system that said my conviction wasn't overturned, because they left a criminal thingy on my record for 6 years, and I only found out about this just in the middle of last year.
So
even though the appeal was overturned, the conviction was overturned, that conviction has still appeared on my criminal record for the last 6 years, deliberately. They've confirmed to me, they definitely sent the information saying the whole lot had been overturned. So whoever picked that up and then went onto the system deliberately looked, because they saw that it had all been overturned, and deliberately changed the system to leave the conviction on there. Well, put it this way, they changed the fact that I'd appealed and won me sentencing. So you couldn't say, wait, because without that somebody could say, well, nobody did it. It just didn't get done. But somebody went on and changed that I'd won the appeal for the sentencing, but not the conviction. So they can't even say that someone didn't go on. No. They should have, when what was on that form, the same should have been put onto the computer. It doesn't take an idiot. I've worked in offices all my life, right? That when it says on a piece of paper and your job is to amend the system, you say what's on there. It's not a typo. Someone deliberately left that conviction on, because remember, this involved a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. That conviction being on, anyone that then investigated my complaints from then on went onto the system and so I was convicted for it, which affected the outcome of my complaint.
Right. So you're wanting to know who typed that up?
I would like to know who manipulated that information at Sunderland Magistrates Court.
Right, hold on 2 seconds.
Thank you very much.
Sorry? It's driving.
One of my colleagues, she said what you'll have to do is you'll have to put all of this in writing. It would have to get put before a legal advice.
No, well, the thing is, there's also who's that, Graham Crinson? Is that Graham Crinson? No. Anyway, the thing is, I've also been told, see, the Crown Court were gobsmacked when I told them that the system in this court, because the CPS seemed to know that it was overturned, the Crown Court seemed to know, because they said, I need to get yous to ring them so yous can confirm with them that that conviction was overturned. Now I wanted investigating, and I will put it in writing, but I wanted investigating. No, of course not, but I'm here to get information. I need to know who manipulated that system.
Right, but if you just put it all in writing, then I'll make sure someone gets put.
But I've put things in writing. Do you know what you do? You just ignore things all the time. You did. You know what is that? I've dealt with corruption at these courts for the last 7 years. And it's always been the same.
2 seconds,
Yeah.
keep it down a bit.
No, I'm expressing me concerns.
I'm court manager at the minute.
Yes.
And obviously I've overheard what Lauren's been saying and I've heard the concerns that you've raised.
Yes.
At this stage you need to put it in writing.
I'm sick of putting things. Do you know what it is? I wrote to Sheila Proudlock and she just says, contact our customer services. Like I'm a customer. Am I a customer of the courts? No, I'm not. What do I buy from you? What do I do? You know?
Service
No, you provide the public with a service. I'm not a customer. Look, at the end of the day, I've tried writing to all of these people. I have tried writing to write up to Sheila Proudlock, and you're a corrupt joke, and you just ignore everything. I want answers from a person. What?
If you put it in writing, we can consider what you're saying, but can't discuss this in council.
What? Well, if I don't get a good enough response, I'll be back here and I'll not move. Right. Thanks very much. What is it? Why? Hang on. No, I'm here to find out about the conviction that stands on my record. But because of people at Sunderland Magistrates Court
yeah, but you're throwing accusations around and you're worrying the people that stand by.
No, I'm not worrying.
Yeah,
have I threatened anyone? No, because they're trying to...
And what we're saying is we'd like you to leave the door.
They're trying to fob us off. Well, I'm actually outside of the court right now.
If you just shut the door because it's absolutely...
I haven't done nothing wrong.
Just move your foot, mate.
I haven't done nothing wrong.